Today's video is sponsored by Game Nerds, the best place to buy all your sealed Digimon product, as well as other trading card games and for all your general gaming needs. And also by Inked Gaming, the best place to get your own custom playmats printed with the highest quality around. Links are in the description. What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, Digital Podcast. I'm your boy Varney in the studio. Mike, Dan, y'all, what's going on?
Yo, what's good?
What's goody in the hoodie?
What's goody in the hoodie? Hey, Boogie with the hoodie. That's what's goody in the hoodie.
Hey, man, there used to be a guy named Boogie Cousins. He also fell off, too.
Was he a basketball player?
Yes, sir. DeMarcus Cousins.
Okay, I thought it sounded familiar.
That man was the best center in the league for a time period, and then his knees died.
I was going to say his knees died, bro.
As everybody's does. Mine's is giving out, and I'm only 26.
And you didn't even play sports.
I feel like I didn't even play. No, I played football, but I only played like freshman year.
He played on the Kings for a hot minute.
Yeah, like first 8 years or something like that.
Guys, this isn't a sports podcast.
Sorry.
We don't want anybody talking about how we're straying from the topics. Sorry. You know.
Now he's got me thinking about DeMarcus Cousins.
No, we're not thinking about. You know who we're thinking about? We're thinking about Marcus Damon. We're thinking about Thomas H. Norenstein. We're thinking about what's the girl's name? Yoshino something.
Yoshina
starts with an F.
Fupa
something.
Yoshina Fupa.
It's not the right word. Not the right word.
You know, it's sad. I remember Keenan's name, Keenan Cryer, Richard Sampson. You know, I just can't.
Richard Sampson.
Richard Dick Sampson, head of DATS. All right. So today is July 20th, 2023. We're recording this episode at 10:11 p.m. That's for you, Dan. Time stamped.
Yeah.
Right there. So I guess the first thing we're going to talk about is the thing that we talk about every week, except this week we're going to skip over it. It's locals, but last week was pre-release. So yeah, I mean, y'all care to know about pre-release?
Y'all don't want to talk about it?
No, what was there to talk about pre-release? We made random decks and one with random cards.
Hey, yo, you know why he doesn't want to talk about it? You know why he doesn't want to talk about it, Mike?
What? He got smacked.
It's because I outplayed him in round 4. I smacked him.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
I guess we can talk about pre-release then. So let's just say that if you played in a BT-13 pre-release and you won with no Royal Knights, you are a god, because I didn't pull any Royal Knights, and of course everybody I played against had Royal Knights. Somehow I was eking out the wins. You know what I was doing? I was playing Chessmon. That's bad. So
was I. So was I, basically.
Chessmon piece imaginable.
I had every single Chessmon in my deck.
It was the best way to do it. It was the best way to do it because they're gonna play out each other. So I mean, you might as well. And there's I thought there was no deletion, and then I got hit with the limited release or the limited format Dexmon in way of BT-13 Jessmon.
Yeah,
and I was like,
same.
That's a card. So shout out to Captain Cold, if y'all know him from the Discord, but he goes, we know him by Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow, you're just gonna put his name out there like that?
Yeah,
bro?
His name is Ryan. He lives in, shout out to him. He won playing double Jessmon, which is a rare, mind you. Jessmon's a rare.
You know what? Kind of off topic now, but I feel like you about to say someone's address. Should we get a mailing address so people can send us mail?
Nobody wants to send us mail.
Stop.
What? Maybe they want to tell me how cool I am.
No, they could just text to you on Discord. Just
wait till y'all watch this episode. You can see my face reactions.
What if they want fan mail?
Fan mail.
Yeah, it's called join the Discord.
Yeah, right.
This guy.
We can
subscribe on YouTube
at some later point if we want to. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube.
This episode is brought to you by. No, that's for later on.
But there was some cool interactions that you can't normally do in normal decks, I would say, and especially in this pre-release, there was a lot of different things, and it was in the last like 2 pre-releases. I feel like for example, I had like Leopardmon with was the reboot, one of the Chessmons. So like Leopardmon I was always hard playing something, and then it gives everything blocker. So I swing with it, and then he has reboot, so he's blocker on my opponent's turn and stuff like that. I just had some really cool plays from it. That was like one of my main go-to plays, surprisingly. Getting both King and Queen Chessmon on board was a thing. I also was running the I forget what the level 6 turtle thing is called. The 13k blocker.
Come on, that's your boy. It's Jumbo Gamemon.
There you go, Jumbo Gamemon.
That's your boy, Dan. How you gonna forget his name?
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes, man. You know. I had Craniumon, but I never played Craniumon ever. It was either as a security or on the bottom of my deck. It would have been cool to go Leopardmon and then play Craniumon off of it just cause like. What else? I smacked Giovanni in round 4. I outplayed him. He thought he had me, and then I had to outs to it.
He ain't smacked me. All right, let me tell y'all the situation.
Hey yo, what happened?
I don't even know what my board state was. All I know is I had like Queen Chessmon, and I had a couple little Chessmon dudes.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I've got blockers for days.
And you had something else too on board next to it.
Who the hell is? Who the fuck is? My damn headset's going off because somebody's calling me on Facebook while I have the damn tab open. Hold on, let me close this shit. There we go. I was like, who the hell is calling me in the middle of my podcast?
Wow, that was rude of them.
But
how dare they?
Very rude. Ian, not name calling. Yeah, Queen Chessmon's a cool interaction. Dan pulled some shit on me that I was like, yeah, that's a play. This motherfucker was playing. I guess I shouldn't really be cursing if we're sponsored, but I'll tone down on it. I promise. This guy was just playing
edit it when you can.
Some of the Gizumons.
Yeah.
I'll just bleep it, right? This guy was playing the Gizumons, so he swung. I blocked. I deleted stuff. Unsuspended my blocker, and then
played another one. You also played another one.
Played another one. I did play another one, and then this guy drops a Gizumon, deletes whatever. It doesn't even matter what it was. He deleted something.
Night Chessmon, and then unsuspended my Queen. Then swing for game because of that play.
And swung for game. And I was like, yep. Pre-release format, baby.
Hey, it was fun.
Pull out this type of bullshit.
Exactly. That's what makes it fun. It makes people the skilled people popping
best
off.
Of threes.
Hell yeah, I would have definitely because I don't think no offense Ryan, I don't think you would have got the dub if it was best of threes.
Ooh,
because I didn't know the double Chessmon. I didn't know the double Chessmon was gonna happen, but if you know now, you're prepared for it.
No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to. I mean, to be fair, same thing. If I saw the one Chessmon and I was like, okay, cool. There's no way he hasn't. There's no way he pulled 2. That's it. I can rookie rush. He's like, I'm gonna just give you 9, and I was like,
fair play.
That's a play. Double Chessmon, baby. What a play that was. Because he already had we were basically going par for par. I had 4 Digimon, he had 4 Digimon. Because I was just trying to outdo his blocker count. And then, so he has 5 Digimon on board, drops Chessmon, and I'm like,
sheesh.
That's what, freaking 13, 15k deletion or something? I'm like, well, that's a play. So, do I want best of 3 pre-release format? No, I was just trying to get my damn cards, bro. I was trying to get my Royal Knights, and unfortunately,
hey, we got them.
Maybe. I just wanted to pull I wanted to pull some Altar Omnis or Gallants, but out of the trio of us, Dan had to come out and show me up. He pulled 2 Altar Gallants. Mike had to come over here and show up. He pulled an Altar Omni and a Gallant. I pulled dog shit. I pulled nothing from my pre-release packs, pulled nothing from the participation, and I didn't pull nothing, not even from our case. Dan got the Altar.
Yeah, honestly, bro, so. It's because
you got the Altar Gallant. You pulled it.
Yeah,
I got the Yiggy. I got the Yiggy.
You have a lot of other stuff. Don't act like we did.
I got the Yiggy. It's all right.
Yeah. It's fine. See, it's fine in the world.
Don't worry, we have another case coming in. So
Yeah.
You guys are monsters, by the way. For that. I don't understand that one.
it was a spur of the moment decision, as well as a predestined decision. That's what it was. We made the decision to buy a case ahead of time, and then we made the decision to make more bad decisions on that night. And yeah. So
well, I'm glad I didn't buy that case because the 2 boxes I opened had some crazy cards in there. So I'll take it.
Hey, we had
what
a.
we're gonna do is
I got what was it, third or
be
fourth?
mic up. You got third.
Third, right? Yeah, I think
Because Harold got second.
Yeah. So
Harold,
because we didn't have like as many people.
Yeah,
for
Harold with
pre-release,
the busted Craniumon Rage Mode combo.
Mans was playing Craniumon plus Belfmon, and it was every single time. It never failed. And then against, I forget who it was. He had Crania.
It never failed.
He had Crania, Belf, and an Examon stack. I was just like, how does this happen? And how is this like not like game?
Like not even like hard play or straight stacks, bro.
Yeah, facts. It was wild as fuck. Oh,
he
sorry.
was telling y'all to hold his dick, bro. I don't know. What do you want, bro? He said hold it. It's that big.
Hey, we got
a few hands.
Stop cursing. But
that's that's some explicit content.
That's me complimenting a friend.
So like we didn't have as many as many people for pre-release this time, so we ended up getting like 1 extra pack each for pity pack they called it. Everybody got one. In that 1 pack I pulled all our Galamon, so I used up like my 99% luck just on that. So like for the next I don't know 3 to 4 months minimum, where I like work that luck back up, I'm probably just gonna brick out on every game I play. Worst security ever, because I used all the luck for that.
The luck of the draw, baby.
Yo, can I just in my head real quick? Right? I just thought of how they could have made. I'm still on this and I'm upset about it, but how they could have made Lord Nightmon good. I just thought about it, right? If they had literally just given Lord Nightmon Leopardmon's effect to reduce the play cost when you play a yellow card or something. Or play a night when Digivolving, or main phase play a night. Instead of main phase play
Can you imagine
like
how cracked Lord Knight would be with Leopardmon's effect?
That's what I mean. Like they could have made
it would actually be really, really
would have
good.
been so good.
Because you got the other one that's DP boosting, and it plays something on attack. You've got this one that's playing something and then giving them all blocker.
Bro, would have actually made the deck relevant again.
Well, we needed some yellow-green cards so now we can play Lord Knight and Leopard in the same deck. But
Leopard in the same deck? That'd be fire.
They'll never do it. I think we've got a green-black card. I think it's the newest one in EX5.
So yeah, that'd be fire though. Leopardmon, the tactician of the Royal Knights, with LKM.
What do they call Lord Knight? What is Lord Knight?
No clue, Dan. What do they call Lord Knight? Because I know Leopardmon's like the Batman. So Dan, what do they call Lord Knight?
The scrub with Dynus. I don't know.
Oh no, the scrub with Dynus.
She's like I'm like
Leopardmon is our Crusadermon is our boy.
He, she, whatever you want to call him. If you go Cyber Sleuth is a female. So I'm not trying to hear it. But I don't know. I don't remember what they call it. Let's look it up. Let's see if they have some name. I know. Yeah,
genderless.
I'm trying to look for it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be searching here. Like I know Leopardmon is known as the tactician, but I don't know where it gets that name from. Doftumon. It's nowhere that I can find. Just like Crusadermon, Leopardmon, or I'm getting all these names mixed up. God damn it. I don't know.
Let's see.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Truly, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Leopardmon is known as their leading strategist. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Alphamon's Batman.
No,
Basically.
Alphamon's Batman.
No.
Alphamon is
Alphamon's
Batman,
like...
and Omnimon is Superman. Come on now.
No. Alphamon can't be Batman.
So that Leopardmon is like, I'd probably equivalent Leopardmon to being Aquaman.
So,
You're bugging.
Leopardmon. Wait, what? I mean, wait, huh? What you just said?
Did you just?
How is that?
You're so late. You are so late.
I'm like in the
What
middle
else
of
would
like
you put Leopardmon as?
Batman.
No, I'm just curious. Like, what else? No, Alphamon's Batman.
Alphamon's not Batman, bro.
Alphamon's Batman because Omnimon is Superman.
Omnimon could be Superman. That's fine.
That's what I'm saying. If Omnimon is
That
Superman,
makes sense, but Alphamon can't be Batman.
You know
Alphamon can't be
Alphamon
Batman.
has to be Batman.
It can't happen.
All right, that's our new poll for the viewers. Who is Alphamon
Bro,
in Justice
Leopardmon-
League terms?
No,
I
who
agree
is
that
Leopardmon?
yes, he should be. No, well, okay, Alpha Leopard. In the Q&A, I'm gonna ask the same exact question. Give me your thoughts. What members of the Royal Knights are equivalent to what members of the Justice
Y'all
League?
don't want to even get into this argument.
No,
with
we
me
don't.
About comic book characters. 'Cause
Yeah.
I swear, Dan has watched me in college, bro. Just go off on people. Y'all think that I'm not a nerd? I swear to God, I'll start reciting issues.
Yeah, you see that stupid
Like-
Tua jersey? Oh wait, no, he took down the stupid Tua jersey.
First of all, it was a Mike Gesicki jersey, and it got taken down because he's with the Patriots. But I just had it up there as a pity because whatever. Also, I'm moving. Leave me alone. Oh, yeah. I am moving. 2 weeks from now,
Yes.
I will be in a different room. That's exciting.
You're going to be in a different room. Mike said he's going to set up a studio so that we can record in-person podcasts, and he's going to set up a camera so that we can record games. Is he actually going to do it? It's only time will tell. Tune in 2 weeks to find out.
I'm at the couch in my room. Like, you guys ever watch like Backroom Casting Couch? I get like a black leather couch.
You could have said
just playing.
you could have said something
It might be a
completely.
black leather
You
couch.
could have
though.
said like, "Yo, you seen like other in-person podcasts? It's gonna be like that," or like but you have to say that, right?
Nah.
Right.
Nah.
It's just, my name is Michael, and I'm on the casting couch. And I'm Giovanni, and I'm on Disney Channel.
Yo, now we're gonna get sued. Disney's gonna come after us. They're gonna give us an NDA or some shit.
All right, Tamers Battle League, week 5. Finally saw Leppy take home a dub with Blue Flare. Leppy played against Adachi in the finals. Adachi was playing Black War Gray, and Adachi did come in second place, so the placings did not screw Adachi. Week 5 sees the ending of the chart with a tightly contested race for first and second between Leppy and Adachi. Leppy has 29 points, Adachi has 28 points. Nikesh is in third with 23 points. And then we have Treasure Eyes, Vinny, Yurikaze, Polo Chains, Ray Ivory, Ninja Minifro, and Hicks Mode 68, all in a mid-upper table race, ranging from, 4 all the way down to 11 with 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11 points. So it's a tightly contested race. We're about a third of the way into the season. So if you guys want to get your points up, if y'all want to get participating, join the Tamers Battle League. It is never too late. A win vaults you up in the standings. I believe you're rewarded somewhere like 7 points for a win. We have 27 people on this chart. A win gets you all the way up to somewhere in the mid-table. And the more people that participate, the more points that are given out. So it's never too late. Jump in. There's prizing every week. There's prizing at the end of the season. You know, it's a fun time. And this week is our first BT-13 event. So it's going to be fun to see what decks come out. But by the time you guys hear this episode, you should be registering for week 7 of the Tamers Battle League. So go do that.
Also, we'd like to reiterate, even if you don't play in multiple tournaments and don't get your points all the way up, you still win prizing every tournament if you win. So you may not get enough points to win the whole thing at the end of it, but if you win a tournament, you're getting prizing that week. So definitely come join.
There's a playoff. There's a playoffs afterwards, I believe. So you don't even have to be like number one in points. You can be somewhere in the mid cards, and you never know what happens in the playoffs, right?
Right. At this rate, it's looking I imagine we'll at least end with 32 people on the season chart. So I'm thinking an 8-man playoffs is where we're going to be heading. So the top 8, and then I'll probably run a last chance playoffs for like the 4 fringe
wildcard teams.
Yeah, for the 4 wildcard teams. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see once the ending of the season comes around. It's a fun time though. Y'all should join the Discord. Moving on. Our poll results last week. I asked you all what deck, it was last week. What deck would you like to see covered for in-depth YouTube content? 5 people said out of 16 votes, 5 people said Mirage Gaogamon. Interesting, very interesting. This is a deck that many are saying is the actual best deck in the format. To that, I say you're 100% wrong. It's Shine. Don't let anybody fool you. I will go to the grave with that, and Mike will go to the grave with that, but we'll talk about that later. But
I don't like that you put my name on it. I'm all cool with like promise and stuff, but I want to be the one that does it. You were basically just like on Mike's name, bro, like on his life.
On Mike's life, Shine is the B-diff, and if you disagree, you can take it up with Mike. Yeah, I'll tell you his address and everything.
Nah, fucking, that's crazy.
Damn, y'all about to have some early graves.
Mirage is a really good deck.
Right. Y'all ever see the Kevin Gates who's like Kevin Gates when he's like, I started the car battery by touching it? And he's like, if I'm lying right now, like murder my children. And the host is like, you don't gotta say all that. Like you don't gotta be saying that. He's like, nah, if I'm lying about this, then go ahead and murder my children. Like that's how I felt right there. You were just like, yeah, on Mike's life, this is the best deck right now. Like,
I think it ain't that serious, but Mirage is good. It's a good deck.
No, great deck.
I just don't think it's better than Shine, and I'll elaborate on that later. The next deck people want to see content on is Belphemon. So Daniel, get your camera ready, refine your deck, and make me a damn Belphemon deck profile. We've got 2 votes each tied for exactly. So you need to record me a video so I can put it up. We can get the people what they want to see.
It's provocative.
Wink, wink, going. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. With 2 votes each, we got ShineGrey, Rosemon, and Royal Knights. I'll tell y'all right off the bat. I'll elaborate on it later again. Rosemon, why aren't you playing Bloom? That's all I'll say on that for now. Royal Knights, that's me.
That you can put on my name. You can. I'll co-sign that one. You should just play Bloom instead, yeah.
All right. And ShineGrey. We'll work on something, don't worry.
I got a deck list right now for y'all. Shit fire.
We got 2 votes for other. And those 2 votes, well, it's actually 3. We got one person said Jellymon. This is the part where I talk about the Q&A, which was the same exact question. I just wanted to hear what y'all said. It is Jellymon is getting support in the next few sets, so it'd be interesting to see some deck profiles in preparation. That's Dan's wheelhouse. Dan's coming at y'all with content for that. Ray says Gallantmon, because I'm not totally biased at all. Ray, I'm going to show you a very spicy deck featuring Gallantmon. And you're going to love it. Is it a Gallantmon deck? Yes. Yes.
Is this like when I was saying telling people I was playing Gallantmon, but it was just it was yellow hybrid that like turboed into Gallantmon? Okay.
What are you going to say, Dad?
Stop. Don't hype that man up like the... It's not a Gallantmon deck.
Yeah, Varney's gonna be like, yeah, we're playing Gallantmon. It's gonna be security control. You just hard play Gallantmon.
Hey, don't be giving out my spice this early. Let me hit him with the deck profile first.
Bro, I know exactly what you're thinking because it's the same shit that I was thinking. Because that's exactly what I plan on doing as well. Yeah, no, you're bugging for that, bro.
And then someone said, I would like to see Alphamon. It feels like it wants to play a completely different way and be in more control. And yeah, I heard the previous discussions about the meta change up. Yeah, Alphamon's definitely an interesting deck because it's not an OTK deck anymore.
Does it? I mean, does it really play a different way?
It's so the same.
Slightly differently.
It does the same still, but like you just don't kill that one turn. But like it's still the same playstyle, isn't it? Like it doesn't change.
So, I'll be honest. I'm one of those crazy people who's been playing... oh man, I can't think of the name of the rookie. Black Rookie, it was a promo, gives security +1 if... ShineGreymon. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos that has been playing ShineGreymon on the Alphamon deck I've been testing. That deck still kills. Like, you get the ShineGreymon,
if you give that
deck just pops off.
If you give something extra sec +1 for that deck, like that works perfectly. You can still do the same shit almost.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's no different than the way you could have been playing the deck before. Now it gets back what it lost in sec +1 as a slottable inheritable. It is now just gained back the consistency of doing the combo. The problem being that you need to see the ShineGreymon in your stack to have that sec +1.
Yeah, you can't search for it.
And it's not searchable.
It has to be the rookie you digivolve, basically.
But it's still, like, if you want to play it in that OTK style, like, it's totally viable. But the build that I imagine most people will end up running will be like your standard, not OTK. I guess, what would you call that? Like, mid-range, I guess?
I don't know. I feel like in my head... I don't know. Like when I think of Alphamon, I don't know. Like it doesn't have a good enough payoff to not play like the OTK variant. I feel like,
or at least play like that major like memory gaining stacking version.
So I don't know. I forget what Russ Morrow was doing in his build, but I loved like obviously his videos are different because they're kind of like he doesn't stage them. Yeah, he doesn't stage them, but he plays like 15 matches in a row and just takes the best ones.
Yeah.
So like you're not like I loved when he got the 2 Alphamons on board and like the same turn was like some of the crazy shit ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really know what that deck's payoff is if you don't go for the OTK.
I feel like, it's definitely not an OTK. Most people aren't going to be playing Suneriza. They're going to be playing just like your regular rookie lineup. They're going to be slotting into Doro Gray. I think it's definitely like, it's going to be control in the way that like, you know, you can't swing with your play cost 10 or higher. You're going to be digivolving, or you can going to be popping stuff, but you're going to be able to get your swings in, and they're going to be reliable swings because you're not really going to be dying that often. So I guess I would call it mid-range in a way, but like leaning on the side of being a more aggro deck, an aggro stack deck. But we'll talk about that in that profile that we make because it's definitely gonna go a different direction with the new Doro Gray. Just inherently, you know, but that's definitely something we can cook up for you guys.
I think it has that pop off potential still though, like really easily.
Right.
Especially now that it has Doro Gray again.
Yeah, I mean, personally, if you don't play 4 Cool Boy in the deck, you're playing the deck wrong. Cool Boy's your freaking 2-cost searcher for any card in your deck except your Tamers because they're not X antibody, unfortunately. But any other card it searches, and you should be playing 4 decks Daruga and at least 3 decks Doro Gray to pop off. I don't see why you wouldn't play 4 Cool Boy. Everything else is kind of up to your discretion.
I don't know. I feel like 3 Cool Boy. You could get away with like 3 Cool Boy, 2 UG, and then.
Nah, I want to see that Cool Boy early for that 2-drop. And when I digivolve into that first Dex Daruga, I want to go from 1 all the way up to 5.
Yeah, I forgot how annoying that was back in that.
Exactly. It is stupid because you have.
That used to piss me off so much.
8 Darugamons that you could theoretically play now. I'm only gonna play 6, but you can pull that stupid shit off even way more reliable than you could have before. So, but that's besides the point. the next thing is I'm going to respond to one comment from our podcast video that I put out on Monday because I was a little bit late. I had said in our last podcast that Mirage can't play out their Tamers for free. It's not that they can't. I think it was Nana pointed out that Mirage can play their Tamers for free. The new BT-13 Mirage plays out a Tamer. I think when you like add a card to your opponent's hand or when an effect adds a card or something like that. And then the new Gaogamon plays out a Thomas if you don't already have one in play. I know that like that's good. Rosemon also plays out its Tamers for free with the Lilamon that just plays the Yoshino. And then,
that's a really good card.
That one's really good. Ravemon does it on the Peckmon and the new Ravemon. But nothing is, and this is why I think Shine is the B-diff. Because Shine does it stupidly consistently. Shine has, what was it, Mike? Like 4 different ways to play out a Tamer amongst its Digimon. Because you have BT.
Well, you have
go ahead.
GeoGray. You have GeoGray from BT-12.
Right.
Plays a Marcus if you don't have one in play.
Right.
GeoGray from BT-13 plays any red or yellow Tamer from your security.
Right.
Which not only gives you room to work within your security if you don't have a Tamer in your hand, search your security, so you just basically get to search 5 and play a Tamer.
Yeah.
If you think about it like that, right? Rise Gray from BT-13 plays a Tamer when digivolving.
Right.
Rise Gray X, if you choose to play it, plays a Tamer when you digivolve.
Right.
So that's 4 ways right there.
Burst mode, it does play
Burst
a Tamer.
mode technically plays a Tamer, but usually you have to return the Tamer from your...
Or if you swing the Marcus and digivolve in the burst mode for free, you do just get to play a Tamer. So...
True.
5 ways that Shine plays out of Tamers to Mirage's 2. And it's so that, like, when I say that, like, the reason that I say Shine is better than Mirage and why Mirage cannot be the best deck in the format is because Shine does what it does so well. It plays out its Tamers for free in 5 different ways. Let's just say 4. It plays out its Tamers for free in 4 different ways. It is a searchable archetype because whether you're playing Memory Boost or Agumon X, or even BT5 Agumon for some reason, or other Agumons that people can play, you're searching stuff. The only one that searches Marcus is BT12. That's fine. Remember, GeoGray pulls from security. You have massive draw power in the deck. It's just... Deck is... If you're saying the deck isn't good, I think you should sell me your alts. Just want to let you guys know, I'm looking for 4 ShineGreymon alts and 4 Marcus Damon alts, and I have $200 ready to buy and take off your hands such a bad deck at your earliest convenience. So please reach out. Let me know. I will buy those cards with the swiftness.
Imagine wanting to waste money on all arts when you know it's going to get hit in like a month or 2.
That's why... That's why I haven't done
it.
Yeah. I haven't maxed out. Besides, I didn't buy
the Marcus.
I didn't buy I have 2 Marcus alt arts, but I pulled them from boxes. But the Shine Greys I did buy, but I actually got them all really cheap, and I actually got. I think I told the story on the pod earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's I know it's gonna get hit. That's why I refuse to buy anything for it just yet, just because
I don't know. I mean, if it gets hit, I don't think it's gonna be because of Japan, because in BT-14 it's actually leveled out and it's really not doing. It's not like dominating in BT-14 format as far as I've seen from like Digimon Melee. Like, it's still doing well, but like a lot of the other decks over there are like doing really well.
You could say the same about Raid Wargray though.
So like, I don't know. We'll see. I think if it gets hit, it's gonna be because the English audience, like the American audience, really bitched hard.
But you could say the same about Raid Wargray because they were on BT-13. Raid Wargray, I mean, everybody was on the Shine train, and we still got the hit. And they cited, BT-12 Metal Greymon being the source of that hit, even though they hit it for us in BT-11.
Yeah, don't know.
So that's why it's funky. We can't really predict Bandai list. I mean, if you remember that BT-11 hit, we were like, okay, cool. Where's the rest of the list? Oh, that's it. So, you know, the next list they gave us was okay. It was nice seeing more cards hit. But at the same time, you know, like everybody wants to try to predict the Bandai list, see what cards are going to get hit. Honestly, Bandai's put me at a point where I don't know what I don't know what they're going to do. They could come out tomorrow and be like, hey, hey, that Agumon you like, the one that makes Marcus a Tamer, banned. Like, that's the type of stupid shit they could do. I don't know.
We don't even know like when they're gonna have one. They just randomly do them. It feels like too.
Yeah, they said they were trying to be more consistent, and it's like, cool. Can you give us dates? At least, can we look forward to something? Can we expect to maybe or maybe not see something? No, not even an announcement for that. So
nope.
At this point, we're kind of just freeballing it. The only reason that we think it's going to get a hit is because BT-13 Ultimate Cups have that Marcus restricted. And generally, the cards that have been added to the restriction list for the Ultimate Cups have been hit. There are some that, you know, are still on the Ultimate Cup restriction list, but they're not restricted in regular format. So, you know, we don't know. It could just stay that way for the next 6 months. We could get a hit. It is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if it does get hit, it would definitely shake this meta up like crazy.
Shake it up. It's blue dominance.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's blue
I think
dominance.
that blue flare, mirage.
Those are the two best blue decks. If you're not playing blue flare or mirage,
I think that Greymon's still gonna be.
Oh, I mean,
very well.
You know,
Very
like
good.
like people like to say, Greymon card game, right?
That's fine.
I guess not. My fellow podcast mates did not like that comment.
They didn't bother me at all.
Well, it's because you're a Greymon stan.
Man, it sucks to suck, right? For those people who aren't. Just kidding, guys.
I just want to take this time to say today's episode is sponsored. Yes, sponsored by Game Nerds. Game Nerds is the site to go to whenever you need to fulfill your TCG needs. Go buy your sealed Digimon product there and use our code. Well, I don't know if you can use our code at checkout. I'm not going to lie to you. But the link will be in the description of the YouTube video. I've never checked. I don't know. I've never checked out with our code. I'm not going to lie. But the link will be in our description for the YouTube video. And we'll have it in our, link tree thing where you can find all of our links. We'll have that so that you guys who are listening to the podcast can find that and use that. But if you use that link, we will get a portion of whatever it is that you buy. So it just helps us out and lets us keep doing what we're doing, because I spend a lot of time doing editing and sourcing. Like right now I'm sourcing our playmats, talking with some manufacturers, and there's just, it's a lot. So the support would be greatly appreciated. So if you guys could do that, we'd appreciate that. Anyways, moving on, I'm going to take this time to highlight my Facebook comment of the week. I'm not actually going to highlight one comment. It's just the general thing that I've been seeing because it's on Facebook and Twitter.
It's on Twitter a lot too.
Yeah, it's basically this consensus that Shine isn't as good as everybody's making it out to be. Dan, what do you have to say about that?
Hee hee, ha ha. I find that funny. I think they're bugging, but that deck is kind of cracked, and I'm not really sure. It's so crazy for people to say that, and one, we haven't had maybe both sides look crazy to like go to the extreme on both sides, like extreme of best deck in the format. Oh my god, it's like this thing is like unstoppable. And then versus the people who are like, oh, this deck ain't really all that. We haven't had obviously anything to back it up yet, right? Regionals, nothing. But per playtesting, per what Japan had, I mean, again, our format's always different. Sometimes their best deck in the format is not our best deck in the format. So far, I think Shine is what we expect it to be, which is if it's not best deck in the format, it's right there, being up there, top 2, top 3 decks. Usually our formats always have like a top 3. Usually it's triangle formats for us in North America. So we'll see what happens. But I think the deck is very strong. I think the deck does what we thought it would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get BT-12 markers out, you swing, you Evo for free, you get into ShineGreymon, pop the entire board potentially, or whatever's on their board. You can potentially go to burst mode for free, either its own effect, bounce Marcus, play Marcus, and then do whatever other shenanigans. You can either Evo into it for free by using Marcus effect, and then you keep burst mode on board, and then more shenanigans, right? And Mike mentioned it before, and so did Varney, right? You have 4 consistent ways of getting a Marcus out on board, which is always good because you always want Marcus on board to punch with. So I think people are thinking that has your usual Greymon red deck problem where you might have bricks because of the ratios. You're probably playing, like, you're playing 8 to 10 Tamers. I would play 8 probably, just the four Marcus, BT-12 and BT-13.
Right.
And yeah, I'm guessing they're having, the usual Greymon problems of bricking, not seeing the ultimate sometimes, or whatever it may be. And they're like, this deck ain't, it ain't it, right?
Let me say something real quick. In my playtesting with Mike, and also with various members of our Discord, I have never pulled off the Shine combo. I can say that.
Oh, I pull it off all the time.
That doesn't mean that I'm not kicking ass with the rest of the deck, though. I think, honest to God, if you're having I think one of the biggest things is that, like, it's a red-yellow deck now. It's not red-black, and it's not red. So, like, people are, I think they're a little bit, I think the way it plays is it's just a little bit different from, like, your standard Greymon deck. But it's still, it's an aggro deck. It's an aggro deck to all hell. And when I tell you, I've probably finished almost every game with Marcus. I've finished almost every game with Marcus because Marcus is stupid.
Insane.
I had a game against Mike. I was playing Royal Knights, and I blew up his board, and I thought I was good because he couldn't swing with anything. There was nothing on board. There was just Marcus's. I was like, we're solid. And he drops the new BT-13 Agumon, uses its main effect to make a Marcus Tamer, swings for game. And I was like, oh, that's a play. I did forget that was a play.
Yeah, I'm noticing also the people who are saying that's bad, or that they're talking about you need to do the main wombo combo Shine play. And to win. No, you don't. I mean, you could get into Shine and you don't. I think the interesting deck, because the interesting part about the deck, right, is how free a lot of it can be. And so you don't need to have all the pieces for the wombo combo, and you can still win the game, like you literally just mentioned. So, and I think the other issue is people are saying that it's very fragile, the deck, right? So if that Shine stack dies, right, what do? Well, you have Marcus to fall back on, right? Like, you have free Evos that you can still do. If you are a person who's playing the red variant, you're probably playing Algo X's. You're probably going to be Evoing more for free and, like, rebuilding that stack. I don't know.
It's so funny, right?
And then who was
it's
this?
So
somebody
funny that people...
mention about Secon against that deck, right? I'm just like, sure? Question
What is
mark?
Secon doing against Shine?
Like,
They
I don't
can't
know.
deal. I'll play Marcus Rush.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
so-
you know what's funny?
I don't know.
I find it funny that people are complaining that the deck is fragile. I find that extremely funny. I recall a couple episodes ago we did a podcast about protection mechanics. We said its protection was necessary. Can you imagine Shine with protection? Can you imagine Shine if you couldn't actually get rid of the ShineGreymon that's out here giving Sec +1 3k DP to your Marcus Tamers? Can you imagine if
pretty
burst
cracked.
mode had protection? You just leave that on the field? I mean, I know people were doing it, they run the Greymon X line instead, but you give up the consistency of what the entire line facilitates. That's a deck that doesn't need protect. That's the perfect example of why you don't give every deck protection. That's a deck I will honestly say doesn't need protection. I've never thought that I needed protection. Yeah, it's annoying to have your stuff deleted by like Balfamon, for example. Yeah, it's annoying. But I've won against the Balfamon because the deck, it may not be resilient in that your stack is dying, but it's resilient in how fast you can build back up. Just like Dan said, my turn 1, my ideal starting hand is 2 rookies, because my methodology whenever I'm playing any stack oriented deck, build in raising, build outside. I build 1 in raising for what I can build my perfect stack, I can aggro, and then I build outside so that I can, and especially in Shine, I mean, the perfect play, Digivolve like my BT or EX4 Agu or BT-13, and then I Digivolve, or I play like an Agu X or something, I search. Comes to my next turn, I Digivolve into BT-13 Geogray. I play a Tamer for free because it's 8 Tamers. I've had 1 in security almost every game. I play a Marcus for free. If I pass turn, okay, that they're at 1. If I don't pass turn, I probably have a Rise Gray I can go into, and either the new one that I can go into for 2 because I just played a Tamer, or I can play another Marcus with the old one gains me a memory, so it makes it a 2 cost, and then the new one plays a Tamer, so I could play 2 Marcuses on my turn 2, or I'll just Digivolve in the back again. And then my turn 3, I'm making Marcus a Digimon, I'm swinging, Digivolving in the Rise, then I'm going in the Shine, then if that gets deleted, that's fine, I was building up 1 in the back. Even if I wasn't building up, well, no, I was building up 1 in the back, but even if I have to bring that one out to swing, I'm doing that on like my turn 2 or 3 so that my next turn I can start building up immediately. Like, if you're playing the deck and you're not seeing this, you're struggling with the same thing I used to struggle with. You're shuffling. You're not shuffling well enough. And it's a yellow deck, so it's a little bit more wonkier because of the security, but I just don't think you're right. I think you're wrong. I think that deck is going to be a menace. It may not, like Dan said, it may not be best deck, up there, it's the almost tier 0 type deck type thing, but it's strong.
I think maybe that's the issue. They assumed that it's gonna be like a tier 0 type of busted deck because of what we heard from Japan, and people realizing it's your normal standard tier 1 deck, and they're like trashing it. You know what I'm saying? Because they thought it was gonna do A through Z instead of A, B, C, D or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
having to work for it, right?
I think that's also, maybe that's part of the issue.
The free
also,
evolutions are busted, but
yeah, and because they hear you're doing everything for free. I mean, you have to do things correctly to do it for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make sure you have that 1 extra memory so you can use it to make markers to a Digimon to attack, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I'm not really sure why people are saying, like I said, maybe they assumed tier 0 territory where they were like, yeah, this is the most broken thing, and they realize it's not the most broken. It's very, very, very good. It's going to be arguably best deck in the format. And it realizes, a humanized deck in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a
I don't know.
Greymon deck, all things considered.
I
don't know what it is.
I think the deck's broken. I think the deck's busted as shit. I just don't think people are playing it right. I think the deck is crazy. I think that people are raising at the wrong times and dying because they don't have protection or something.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know what's up. Like I played against Varney when he was playing Royal Knights. There's multiple turns where if I raised, like, it was just done for me. I just out of my time, waited, and then OTK'd him. Like,
yeah, straight up, he actually did. I had 5 security. I thought I was solid. He raised a Rise Gray. He had a Kudamon on field already because I contemplated dealing with it, but I didn't because I wouldn't have been able to make efficient. I only had like 2 memory, and it wouldn't been. I would have had to like play the Jesmon, but I didn't have like a Sistermon or something to follow up with it. So I would have just ended up passing, and instead I tried to choke him. No, I did choke him. So that's what it was, Mike. I think I had.
Yeah, you put me at 1.
I put you to 1 with the Sistermon play because I was at 2. But
Yep.
I didn't want to play the Jesmon because I think it would have put me to 0. And then I would have played the Sistermon, but that would have given you 3. And you had the 2 Marcuses. So it wasn't worth dealing with the Kudamon if it meant giving you 3 memory. So I was like, this is fine. He has a Rise Gray. He can only make 1 Marcus a Digimon if I give him 1 memory. I'm good. Mike then proceeds to raise, makes Marcus a Digimon. Mind you, he has a Rise Gray in raising. So he swings, Digivolves into ShineGrey. Marcus connects on 2 checks. There was a 6k neg to security Digimon. So it's effectively a 12k swing. And then after those 2 checks,
Burst mode.
burst mode for free
Bounce back to Marcus.
that he just swung with.
Yep.
Play
Give
that
it
same
Rush.
Marcus with Rush, exactly.
It checks and trashes so 1 security gets trashed, 1 security gets checked. Lives those checks.
Yep.
Swing the 5th check with Shine. I think I swung Kudamon, whatever. And then I swung with Shine for game.
Yeah. And granted, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to OTK if
I didn't have the Kudamon.
if he didn't have the Kudamon.
It's still 5 checks.
But he still exactly that's the whole Shine combo. 5 checks on 1 memory with a Rise Gray and raising. You guys just aren't playing the deck right. Mike's right. You're just not playing the deck right. You don't even need that combo though. Like that's the stupid part. I can't tell you how many games I won. Like I said, I swing Marcus. You know, I'm just constantly out here raise an Agumon, swing just like you Digivolve in the Geogray for free. Okay, cool. I found the Tamer. Play that. Swing that. Okay, it dies, it lives, whatever. Play something else, and then just keep making Marcus. It's Marcus Rush. He's making himself a Digimon, and unless your opponent's playing Black or Gray, they can't deal with your Marcuses or Blue Flare, I guess, with Surai, which is another topic. I think Blue Flare is going to be. It's not going to be the best deck, but like, it's going to heavily hit
Gonna be a good deck.
It's going to heavily hit Royal Knights, and that alone might see it win, or it's definitely going to top quite a few and might also make it win a few tournaments in the upcoming future. I think I could put my name on that one.
Blue Flare winning tournaments?
I mean, we've already...
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could potentially see that, yeah.
I mean, we already see it topping, and this is against what? If we look at like EX4 results, Black or Gray, Bloom, Beelza, Red Hybrid, these are all semi or stack oriented decks, and Blue Flare's out here popping wins. Imagine in a format where Blue Flare could quite literally abuse what it does best. Like,
yeah.
I think Blue Flare's positioned very strongly to take a couple dubs against these 2 decks, which, speaking of, our tier list that we made maybe like 2 weeks ago now, there are some modifications that, you know, Mike and I thought about and we'd like to make after the fact. I already said this last podcast, but we would definitely switch Rosemon. I mean, I personally would leave its ass right there after playing it, but for the faithful, we would switch Rosemon to being pilot oriented. My problem with Rosemon, though, and Mike has pretty much the same problem with Rosemon, is why play Rosemon when you could just play BloomLord? BloomLord does everything so well, and your top end is Quartz, which does what Burst Mode does, but better. So why try to shoehorn yourself into playing a worse deck and then, you know, end up playing against anything that Bloom just has a better matchup into? Mike's gonna drop off here. Mike has an emergency he needs to attend to, so we wish you well, Mike.
Yep, peace, boys. Sorry, I would have loved to talk shit about Rosemon. I gotta go. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the Dan and Varney show, like old time podcast.
Yeah, right.
All right, peace, guys. See you.
All right, so now that Mike's gone, welcome to the Varney and Dan show.
The OGs, the originals, back
The
at it one more time. No, all jokes aside, though, what we were saying, Bloom is still better than Rosemon.
It doesn't make any sense. Like I tried it. I switched my Bloom deck to playing the Rosemon pieces. You know, I play the the new Sunflow, the new Lilamon, the Yoshinos, the Burst Mode, the Rosemon. I still play like Hydra. I thought about playing Bloom, but it just feels so much worse. I didn't even realize that like the Sunflow doesn't synergize with any of the Bloom pieces because it only reduces Digi-Evolution cost when you go into Lilamon. But your Blossomon, your Cherrymon if you play it, your Argomon if you play it, and if you still play Agitar, all those are vegetation. You can't reduce your Digi-Evolution cost going into those. Not necessarily that you need to if you're playing the Digi-Sorption, but like if you're still playing the Agitar, you can't do it. So okay, let's say you switch to playing like the 5 Lilymon, but now like you've just changed the entire outlook of the deck. You're now playing a single stack deck. Your focus is getting your Yoshino out, going in the Rosemon, then Burst Mode. And then doing things, but your Burst Mode only stuns things for one turn. You know, I played. I don't think I played the Mirror. I played against Mike with his Leopardmon deck, but he had Quartz in it. I can't do anything about Quartz. I can Grand El Sole it, but like that's an option. We're having to resort to an option to deal with it. His Quartz is an indefinite lock. Rosemon's just a one-turn lock, unless Rosemon gets a better Rosemon itself. Like the support for it is great now, but unless you get a better Rosemon, it's just not worth it because most times you go into the Rosemon, but what are you doing? Like, okay, I've got this now 11k body. I'm gonna swing with this 11k body. No, the whole point of Bloom is that you play out these Digimon. Now you're 14, 16k, 2-3 checks, and then after you do that, you've now played out more Digimon, Digizorb, Hydramon, haha, turn luck, or HPD, Quartzmon, haha, board luck. Like, why play Rosemon? It just doesn't feel as good. In my testing, it does not feel good at all.
Well, you only did small testing, but I'm sure it was enough for you to make that conclusion.
Small sample sizes, right?
But I think honestly, if you're going like, I know a lot of people are talking about like combining the two decks in the sense of like some of the pieces from Bloom and some of the pieces of the Rosemon support into the Bloom. To me, I think the only card that's you would add is the Lilamon for the Sec +1, right? Like just my like as someone who doesn't really play Bloom as much, I think that's the only one because right, like you get Sec +1 if your opponent has a suspended Digimon, and it's so easy to suspend your opponent's Digimon with like the Paul move effects and stuff like that, and like other ways. And so like instead of your Bloom is swinging, so maybe at times 2 checks, you're swinging for 3 checks, or even 4 checks at times. I think like you don't even need anything from that like burst mode. Why go burst if you go Quartz, right? Like for Bloom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see.
Yeah. You don't. It's so bad. I didn't realize it. Like when I got Quartzed, I was like, damn.
Yeah. I think maybe what the Palmon is probably decent for the deck because it's another searcher, right? If I remember correctly.
The Lalamon,
my fault.
The Lalamon is nice, yeah.
Yeah. But outside that,
like I said, the supporting pieces are nice, but
yeah,
I wouldn't even play the Lilymon or Lilamon to tell you the truth. And the reason why is because Agitar is just so good in what it does for the Bloom strategy.
No, obviously you're doing that for us. I'm talking about as a side. No, I'm talking about as a side. Like
nah, because you have, in my opinion, and this is just, I'm gonna preface this with, I'm not like a hardcore green player. I'm a casual green player. I like to indulge in some green strats. So this is just in my observation. I would prefer to play the 4 Agitar and 5 Digisorption targets.
You casually
which is your Agumon, your Blossomon, and then 3 Cherry.
You casually dab in the greens. Is that what I'm hearing? You dab in the greens a little.
I casually dab my greens. Yes. Just like that.
That's funny. But yeah.
I
don't know.
I prefer my 5 Digisorption targets. So
I don't blame you.
playing a Lilamon, which I get the Sec +1, but honestly, I'll just continue doing what Bloom does best. Playing the Digimon and wrecking security with the massive Digimon presence, and then hoping that my opponent doesn't have decks. Like, I'd rather just play it that way. I wouldn't even play the Lilamon, because now you play the Lilamon, you're kind of encouraged to play the the Yoshinos, so that you can at least get that free Tamer play. And then on top of that, you Digivolve the Agitar in Raising because he doesn't have a when Digivolving. I hate Digivolving when Digivolving effects in Raising because I feel like I'm not getting max value. Now, you're doing this effect, and okay, yeah, you're doing it for the Sec +1, but then you're gonna bring this out with a BloomLord, and you're not even gonna have Digimon on field because you're not going into the Agitar. Like, I just personally don't see it. If you're a green player, feel free to talk about your experience in the comments and in the Q&A. Because I'd love to hear it, but those are my observations from playtesting that deck. I was super excited for it. Just as excited as I got super deflated. And yes, also in that way. Moving on, the next deck that we would switch to positions of, this one's for you, Dan. Mike said he would move Leopardmon from pilot-oriented to fun time.
That's because he's a bad player. I don't have any. So exactly, I haven't built it yet. Based off my pre-release experience with just that card, and I also had Leopard mode. You could do a lot of crazy stuff with it. A lot of free plays as well, in my opinion. Being played was a Majoramon for 4 instead of 7, and like forcing stunning one of your opponent's Digimon, suspending one and then stunning another one is super good in my opinion. And then you can make your leopard mode free for the Evo when you Digivolve over it.
Right. I think Leopardmon is definitely positioned well to do something. I think there's a lot of good things that I would personally leave it there for now.
For where, pilot or fun time?
No, pilot.
Oh, okay. Pilot. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's something. Something I haven't really messed with it just yet. I just started building deck myself. I had things going on, so I'm excited to mess with it. I have a feeling he went like in a way it wasn't supposed to be played, knowing him, but we'll see. Because he played Quartzmon.
I would move Kintorismon from pilot to fun time.
If you're winning, if you need to go Quartzmon within that type of deck, there's something wrong, because that's not the type of deck you really need Quartzmon in. No, just my observations, the way the deck works. You know what I'm saying? Not even like making fun of him or anything for it.
Right.
I'm just saying, like in general.
Mike, that was a slight. Fight Dan.
No, not at all. I'm not saying it was a slight.
Don't worry, I'll see. I'll make sure I record it when Mike comes to square up with you on the schoolyard.
Oh boy. But you said Kintoris. Well, what'd you say about Kintoris?
Kintoris, move that bitch down to fun time. That is not a pilot-oriented deck. I built it
already.
No, I don't see it. It suffers from the same. I'll tell you guys this. I'm gonna look straight at the camera while I say this. Kintorismon suffers from the same problem that every mono yellow deck suffers from. We may have a way to play Tamers for free because you can play the Geo Gray, but you're Digivolving for 3 unless you play the Agumon package. So, the problem the deck suffers from is that you have to pay for everything. Paying for everything sucks so much. you're just so slow. You can't keep up. And by the time you're able to do something, you're already getting battered. I made it, I played the Geo Gray and the Rise Gray package, playing out Tamers for free because that's essential. But it just feels, the payoff isn't there, especially for being a mono yellow deck. It's not even like aggro in that way. And then of course the whole thing is about trashing your security. It doesn't even add it like the old yellow war gray used to do. At least if you added the card, it would be nice. But you're trashing it. And yeah, you have the...
I was about to say, are you running that new option at 4 of? I feel that's a 4 of in that type of deck.
Yeah, I'm running the Odin's Breath at 4, and I'm running the Richard Sampson at 3. It's just, it doesn't feel good enough. It does not feel good enough.
The issue,
Odin's Breath is a solid card, but it doesn't do enough.
I think the issue is that type of deck play, or like I should say, like that type of play style, has not been fleshed. Has not been fleshed out enough. So
you're delayed. It's okay. You're like, you have like maybe like a 3 to 5 second delay from me.
God
so it's when I say something, I'm like responding to something like 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. So like, I feel like the deck, like there's not enough for it yet. So that's why you're feeling like, damn, this is just not enough. I wonder, because if I remember correctly, is all the Kintoro support vaccine by any chance?
Yes.
If it's vaccine, that might pop off a little with the Patamon support at BT-14. I know a lot of people were talking about mono yellow vaccine. Yeah, I could see something like that in the future being a potentially an interesting deck to maybe mess around with. Maybe you just didn't find the right.
In BT-14, we're definitely gonna get a lot better with that. But as of right now, with our current support, no. I would definitely wait until we get more vaccine support and see how that helps the deck.
Probably just more like I think that one option is a really good option. You need maybe more Digimon to have a security effect that says when trash, you get an effect, or another option when trash, get an effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Either some more of that, or just being able... Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely viable, because right now, when you're playing against aggro decks, I mean, there's no... Why? As a yellow deck, what is your payoff to trashing your security?
Right.
Like I said, at least with yellow war gray, you added the cards to hand, so it's a +1. But now it's just, you're straight up trashing it, and you're taking the gamble that it's one of your 7, I want to see this card trashed from security cards. Like, no, it's the Beelzemon problem. Beelzemon before wasn't good. Now Beelzemon got cracked because almost every card benefited from the mill or interacted with trash in some way. Like, we need that type of Beelzemon support, but for yellow.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting for sure. I guess we'll see what they decide to do with more barrier stuff, right? Oh man,
barrier's a cool mechanic, but again, it's that same issue. I like it. It makes the deck resilient, but you hate to do. I was playing against Mike with it, or maybe it wasn't Mike. Maybe it was like Coach or somebody. But I was like, yeah, barrier, and then of course, I got killed because I barriered, and if I hadn't barriered, it wouldn't have happened. But there was no payoff to using barrier outside of keeping my Digimon alive.
Tragic.
very
tragic. Man, that sounds terrible. I don't know. Maybe you play Kintorismon with. Hold on. Maybe you play Kintorismon with the Angelomon, and you swing, unsuspend, get to that 3, play something out, and then because it unsuspends, if I'm not mistaken, so then you swing again, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta think about it.
Go back to the BT-4 War Gray days.
Yeah. Think about the deck a little differently than what. All right, this is what, because they kind of gave the line of stuff that you should play with it, but maybe those aren't it, and you gotta play different things that used to work.
The line is trash. The whole what is it? Loader Leomon and Chitting. I don't even play the Chitting Mon. It's Loader Leo and Rise Gray. I I should probably just go to playing Rise Gray and Rise Gray X.
The Kudamon's good.
I only play 2 Loader Leomon anyways. Kudamon's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a couple good vaccine rookies. I did think about just playing the entire Agu base, to be honest, because it's generic in a way that it's just when your yellow or red tamer becomes suspended. The on-play search you never want to do, but like the rest of the support is pretty damn decent. So I thought about just playing the Agu base with a Kentaur, Rise Gray, Shine Gray, but with a Kentaurus top end. Wait. It might be something. I don't know. I'll go back to the drawing board with it, but as of right now, down to the gutters.
Tragic.
Secon though, yes, definitely a Secon card.
I was planning to build the deck. Maybe I will still. Who knows?
You definitely will. I mean, you know, you like your jank just like I like my jank. Speaking of jank, Chessmon. Where do we put Chessmon in fun time? I don't know.
You think it's better? You think it's better? Because I like Chessmon. I like the deck.
I do think, I don't necessarily want to say it's pilot oriented, because it's one of those decks where like it's weird in a way, because like it's kind of like it's a build up to a payoff type deck. And D-Boys does that, but better right now. But I do think Chessmon, I want to say, I can't say sleeper pick, like a sleeper pilot oriented pick. I would say it's definitely got potential to do something, is what I'll say. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier in pre-release, my pre-release deck was just Chessmon dot whatever else I had, like, you know what I'm saying, and like the things you could do with the deck. Pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Being able to replace your Chessmon pieces with different Chessmons, and then having your stacks be blocker plus reboot all the time, essentially. Queen Chessmon is a pretty good finisher in the sense of, if you have a full board, they die, unsuspend, they die again, unsuspend, play another thing out, and then like if you could force pop for free or something, I don't know, cheap I should say, not free, to keep unsuspending your Queen Chessmon. And then King Chessmon is also a really good top end to get more of those pieces out. And then the Tamer is just so good to me. In my opinion, like that's like a low-key sleeper, really good dual color Tamer.
I agree. I think the deck, I'm gonna try some stupid shenanigans. I think it's the type of deck that plays a little bit like D-Boys in the way that it's a little bit toolboxy.
Yeah, it is.
Because like I play it to be a little bit more tamer oriented, because I want to play out tamers for free, so I play the Mamemons. But if I wasn't trying to play as many tamers as I would, I could easily fill it up with like 4 to 6 removal options, and I could also do some stupid shit where I play Zort Defeat and Alter B, because they're black.
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely.
You know, it works.
Especially since it has no like real, not like a level 7 that it needs to go to. You can just throw in whatever level 7 if you have that's black.
And then you give them reboot. Yeah,
generic reboot, because they're all generic.
Generic reboot, and then if you play the Mom, which is why I like the Mamemon, when you play Digimon by an effect, it gains blocker as an
correct,
or all. Is it all or just one?
No, just the one that's played.
Just the one that's played, which is still good, because like you could play. It's why I wanted to do the GG build. I hate GGmon. I've never whiffed so much on my motherfucking GGmon when digivolving as I did when I was playing Chessmon. So I dialed it back. I'm just playing the King and the Queen, and I'm playing my level 7 top end. But we'll see how it works. I think it's capable of doing something.
Damn, you got into real play testing already.
Bro, I've been itching for this set. Every chance I have, I've been freaking playing, bro. I think I've played all the decks I've created so far. Yeah, I've played them all.
Nice. I just built two today myself. We're gonna start the playtest and grind out, especially when I got regionals next week. So stay tuned on what I feel like playing for that. I guess I don't know. But what else? You said there was another deck that y'all planned. Y'all talked about changing on the tier list.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, some people commented and they said that, like, you know, we overshot some decks, we undershot some decks. I personally am fine with everywhere that I put all of the decks. You know, Blue Flare, for example, it's the 5th deck in Contenders, and it's only the 5th deck because it's behind the 2 Greymon decks, Balthamon and Mirage, who are all strong decks in their own right. So, you know, Beelzemon, somebody said we put Hunters too low. What do you think about that? I look, it's the 7th. It's behind, it's Blue Flare, then Beelzemon, then Hunters. I think it's in a fine enough spot. I mean,
I think I think Hunters is a little too low.
Where would you put it then?
I don't know. I think Hunters is somebody I saw something and they were like, why do we think Hunters got worse when it didn't get impacted by even the new set? I was just like, in my head. And I was just like, that's a valid point. Like, if you think about what like each deck does, right? And like what it plays into, what does it lose to in a sense of like it's hard to explain. Like Hunters is in a spot where it was tier 1 last format, but like nothing happened where it changes that, you know what I'm saying? Outside adding new decks. So like why did it like drop? Like just because we got new shiny toys, it still does what it does, right? You're still tucking things for cheap, and you know there's no protection against that. Nothing has defense against that, right? If you outside of sleep mode, I guess Belfmon sleep mode, right?
Belfmon and Alphamon, yeah.
What does Alphamon do that can't get tucked?
The new Alphamon will prevent it, because I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the way that it's worded and the way that, like, that's the clarification that they made on the Aces. The Alphamon leaving the battle area or to go underneath a Tamer, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by effect, I believe it prevents the Hunter's tuck.
That's
because
not
technically it has to like leave the battle area to come back to it. That's why the
if we get
Rosemon Ace
ruling clarification on that one eventually, future. But like I said, I don't know if anything really has defense to tucking outside the Belfmon. Is it?
I would say it does. So the overflow reads when this card is sent from the battle area or under your card to other places, because the original ruling on aces made people think that when an ace card gets tucked under a Tamer, you would lose the memory. And they clarified it in this way so that if you get tucked under a Tamer,
you don't lose. You don't get the overflow effect.
Yeah, you don't lose memory. Or if you get tucked under another Digimon, you don't lose the memory. It's just when you leave the battle area to go to trash, to security, to hand, to deck, that's when you lose the memory. So in the same vein with the Alphamon,
so that means it gets tucked.
The battle area by an effect, it has to, when it gets tucked, exactly. When it gets tucked, you can prevent it from happening, essentially. I don't think you're following me, so we'll clarify that afterwards.
No, that ruling says the same thing you're saying, though. When this Digimon will leave the battle area by effect, so same concept as the overflow, right? Overflow is not you're not losing memory because it gets tucked underneath that. That's not leaving the battle area. Same concept as that, correct? That's the battle area. That's the underneath the same thing.
When overflow originally came out, it was when this card when this card leaves the battle area, lose 4 memory. That brought up the question of, what if I move from my stack to under another Digimon? Am I leaving the battle area?
Right.
The ruling is that yes, you are leaving the battle area. no, the answer is yes. You are leaving the battle area to come back into the battle area. Like, that's the interaction. You do leave to come back in it, which is why it was clarified to when this card is sent from battle area or under your card to other places, so that any interactions that happen inside the battle area, such as being tucked under another Digimon or Tamer, don't let you lose the memory.
Okay. I guess we should definitely clarify.
So, like I said, I'll get the clarification.
Yeah, clarify later.
I will ask that in the judge Discord. So anybody who's listening to this, take that with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Read the effects. Read the rule book. Blah blah blah. I don't like to say I'm like 100% certain on things I'm not 100% certain on. I'm just almost sure, based on my interpretation of the rules, that's how Alphamon works. So if I was a judge at locals, I would say that yes, Alphamon prevents the hunter's tuck. But we will have that clarified. So if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord, because I will be posting that ruling once I find out about it. But go on, Dan.
But yeah, and it has jamming, it has all these ways to even let's say if you can't tuck something, you can still attack and then attack again at the end of the turn, potentially sec +1. You know what I'm saying? Like, the deck still does a lot. And it's still better than Cross Hearts, you know what I'm saying? As the the face of those type of decks, you know what I'm saying, right? I don't know. I think let me put it like this. I won't be surprised if we see a top 16 and it's top 8, top 4.
So I'll preface this with saying to all our viewers and listeners, I made our tier list. I didn't want to do tier 1, tier 2, and I didn't want to copy anybody else's definitions of tiers, because I really felt like Dan, Mike, and I needed our own way to define these decks. We needed to avoid here's a tier 1 deck, here's a tier 2 deck, here's a tier 1.5 deck, because with that brings a lot of controversy. If there's a deck, for example, when we made this tier list, if we were rating it, we might have put Hunters in tier 1.5. But Dan brings up a good question. Why would it be tier 1.5? That's still a tier 1 deck. I would agree with that. That's why I wanted to avoid that entirely. That's why the main 3 categories on this tier list, well, I guess 4, are your meta-defining decks. And when I say meta-defining, I mean, what are the decks that the rest of the decks have to play around? Because if you don't play around those decks, you're going to be in for a bad time. Then you have your contenders. These are all of your good decks. Tier 1, tier 1.5 included. These are decks that could take wins, take top 4, top 8, top 16s, just like Dan said. You have your rogue and your sleeper picks. I combine them into one tier category because they're rogue decks. SecCon, that's a rogue deck. It technically is like a tier 1.5 deck, but in a way it's a rogue deck. Then you have sleeper decks that we felt that were gonna do good. And then there's pilot oriented, the decks that we know can do well. They just require a lot of time in the lab to do so. Or decks that are just a little bit worse than a sleeper pick, than a rogue pick, but they're better than Funtime. That's why we went with those categories. So with that in mind, that's why that's why Hunters is where it is. Is it better than the 2 decks that destroy Tamers? It's resilient for sure, but is it better than ShineGreymon with the Ace card? Is it better than Black ShineGreymon with the Ace card? I don't know. I don't play Hunters or those Greymon decks enough to know, but based on tournament results, they're about, equal on power level. Yeah. But I personally, because of the matchup, would give the edge to the deck that can delete the Tamers, Yeah,
okay, I think the deck Hunters is at the point where, I think we're at a point where I think Hunters is better than Beelzemon because Beelzemon got hit.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with Hunters being better than Beelzemon. Can I say that Hunters is better than Belphemon? I don't think so. The reason being, you can't affect that rage mode. Okay, so for sure, we can't say for sure yet. My initial thought, my definitive opinion is that no, Belphemon is better than Hunters.
Yeah, I would say that right now.
Because of what Belphemon can do. Exactly.— you're talking about a blue deck versus what do you call hunters? A combo deck?
Like color wise,
I guess.
What
does hunters classify as?
Purple.
Mid range? No. I'm talking about like the style of deck that.
Oh, because you said Mirage is a blue deck. Yeah,
no,
it's mid range. Yeah.
So you're talking about like, when I say blue, it's just because blue has this like predefined play style on almost all of their decks. Bounce, aggro. They're probably the king of like being mid range, I would say. And so it kind of does what Hunters does, but better, more efficiently, just because now they have access to the burst mode. They can play, if they choose to, they can play the Hammer Sparks. They have the Ice Wall. They have a decent semblance of defense just because of those, the bouncing, the stunning, the Ice Wall, while having that aggro, being able to punch you. I mean, Mirage can OTK, like straight up. Mirage can OTK. Blue Flare could OTK. I don't think they play it in an OTK way anymore, but it's still a very strong deck, being able to stun shit, being able to come down out of nowhere and hit in for like 3 to 4 damage. Like, I think those are two decks that are stronger than Hunters. I would probably say that with 75% certainty, 75%. So the only place I would move Hunters is ahead of Beelzemon. I think I could agree with that for sure.
Man, the Mirage and Blue Flare is an interesting conversation, right? Because like, in your normal standard like tier 1, tier 2, right? You would consider Mirage probably tier 1,
right? And
we have it. I mean, we consider it a tier 1 type of deck, but we have it as that secondary category. I don't know. I don't know. I just, because we don't have any results yet. We don't even have our own results in the sense of like our own locals or like TBL to even like say for sure. And we haven't done our own like play testing against those matchups. I just don't know here because Hunters doesn't get worse in the sense of like it didn't get hit in no ban list. There's nothing that's like outright beats it outside of, if you want to say, 2 decks because of Hades Force. And if let's say you play against Shine, right? Shine gets, gets a stack going. All right, cool, you tuck it. Like, what does it do at that point? You know what I'm saying? And then you can like pop off more. I mean, they can obviously come back if they're prepared for it, right? But it's like, damn, it doesn't like. And then I'm not even sure what it does against the Royal Knights because you know how Royal Knights works. But like, if you drop another Digimon and you don't like prepare for it, like you're gonna get effed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. I don't know. I think Hunters is a deck where it's like,
so
it's in between that. Like, it's either gonna be not top of tier 1, but it's tier 1, or it's like bottom tier 1. I'm not sure because I think we're gonna see in the next couple weeks. Yeah, we're gonna see Hunters still popping off.
So I'll preface it with this. EX4 regionals I just want to let the viewers, the listeners know today's topic was supposed to be about the length of formats, but that was a conversation supposed to include Mike. So without Mike, we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to move that topic for next week. Part of the reason we were going to discuss that is because of the EX4 results from the only regionals that we've had for EX4.
Man, I wish it was longer.
Millith Loop win, but yeah, Dan wishes it was longer. Mike wishes it was longer. Me, I'm just like, meh, whatever. Give me my BT-13.
No, I get why though. Like, if you really think about it,
up is because we had a really
EX sets are
good.
Kind of like EX sets is part of like that like BT-12. EX4 is part of BT-12. So like when you think about it, it's all encompassed that included. So like whatever. Continue.
Yeah, like I said, it's a topic to discuss with Mike because it's a really good topic. But I don't want to talk about it now because there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. The only thing I'll say is that our meta for this Seoul tournament of EX4 super diverse.
Well,
No deck saw more than 2 top 16s, and mind you, this was a 402 player event. So this was basically an evenly split pie. Like we saw Blue Flare, Beelzemon, BloomLord, Black War Gray, Red Hybrid, Millith Loop, Black War Gray. Probably this is Black War Gray OTK. Hunters, ShineGreymon Security Control, and WarGreymon X. That's I think 11 decks I just named off.
Yeah,
that's 11 decks in the top 16. Really good. Hunter had 1 top. Blue Flare had 2. Blue Flare placed 2nd and 3rd. Hunters placed 8th. Black War Gray, I assume this is the Black War Gray OTK, placed 4th. Black War Gray X placed 7th and 10th. War Gray X placed 14th.
Wait, did you say War Gray X?
ShineGreymon placed 12th. WarGreymon X. That is exactly what I said.
I rest my case on that card and that deck because it's still good.
It is still good. It is very good. But that's also a topic for another day. This was a very diverse pie chart. I look at this, and this for me reinforces where I placed Blue Flare. It's not a sorry, I keep saying Blue Flare. It reinforces my point on Hunters. I will move Hunters ahead of Beelzemon. The big thing is, can I move it any further up? And I look at this pie chart, and I think about the matchup, and I think about what it does against Shine. Sure, you can tuck the card, whatever card is out, you can tuck it underneath a Marcus. Just keep in mind that you're still gonna proc inheritables when that Marcus swings, because he is going to become a Digimon, meaning you will proc inheritables. But I said it earlier, Shine doesn't need protection because you should be playing it to be resilient already, and if you're not playing it that way, that's why you're losing. I don't think Shine has a problem against Hunters. I actually think Shine can be, not always will be, but can be faster than Hunters and kill them faster. Hunters can definitely have a strong clapback if you don't kill them on that turn. I don't think that matters though. Royal Knights, to be seen. I mean, we play the Marcus Tamers. You can tuck that Digimon. You could also just tuck it under another Digimon, but again, to be seen. But thinking about the decks that are ahead of it, looking at the pie chart, I think it's in the perfect position. It would be the 6th deck. You would have Beelzemon behind it. You have BloomLord behind it. Red Hybrid probably should move up because Red Hybrid's still fucking stupid. It's still an aggro-ass deck. And to your point, what makes Red Hybrid worse? Nothing. It's not like Shine, Royal Knights, Belphamon, Mirage. Well, Mirage can bounce the Hybrid Tamers, so that's something. But none of those other decks are deleting the Tamers. So Red Hybrid should probably be right behind Hunters. It should be probably Blue Flare, Hunters, Red Hybrid, and all that being positions that can change. Alphamon, I think Alphamon and Cross are fine where they are. ShineGreymon, Secon, All Force. We got a comment about All Force being in our Rogue and Sleeper pick. My problem is I don't play All Force. I don't know. But the main point that they made about All Force was that Mirage does what All Force is trying to do, but better. That's what they said. I'll see if I can find the comment here.
They said that All Force is trying to do what Mirage does, but better. Is that what they said?
Other way.
Mirage is trying to do what All Force does, but worse, but better. I'm confused.
But better. So
when they're saying All Force is better than Mirage,
I can't find the comment.
They're saying that All Force is better than Mirage.
No, they're saying Mirage is better than All Force.
Okay, so that's the point we made.
Mirage is better than All Force.
Okay, that's the point we made.
Yeah. That was the point. That was the point we made. There was a lot more to the comment, but I can't find it. I'm not going to sit here on the podcast and try to find it. But generally, they did think that All Force was a little bit low, and I'd probably agree. I'd probably put it up there in contenders, probably like right behind Red Hybrid.
That's hard for me.
Alphamon.
That's hard for me to say as an All Force player because of what everything else is on board now in contention. There's so many decks that just instantly just surpassed it, and it's like Shine is just Shine. Well, I would say Shine beats All Force probably more times than not, I would say Royal Knights would too, unless you get the kill turn of, you know, having 3 arenas and sec +1 need that U4s. It's hard for me to say that it's better than what it's at. I think it's a perfect spot. Rogue Sleeper. If people don't prepare for it and you just pop up in tournaments and they don't know what to do against it, GG, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a fine spot where it's at.
I found the comment.
It also didn't get better because that new U-Force, you're not playing it.
Strong. Right. The comment is, I think All-Force is that strong as behind Hunters is just a deck that plays around matchups and not a deck that puts pressure by its play style. It makes other decks need to outcome it. Usually All-Force has the potential to outcome others. And I think the main reason we don't see All-Force performing that good is because Mirage has a similar play style and is just overpowered. That's the comment.
So prior to BT-13, what was it doing in regular regionals? Not much. That's my only point that needs to be said. Like, outside Ulti Cups, it did no. You know, top 16. But like in outside of regionals, you saw like one top here and there. It wasn't even that much. So when, again, 2, 3, 4 decks that comes out that are like instantly tier 1 category or tier 1 strength, U4 stays where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it moving past where we had it. I think it's a perfect spot where it's a rogue deck. You're going to see that the occasional top 16.
Time will tell. That's about where I'd reposition stuff on the tier list. But you know, for anybody listening, first of all, I just want to say I appreciate you. You guys are great. I love that you guys listen to this podcast all the way to the end. You know, I've gotten a lot of, not hate, but like I've seen comments, you know, specifically comments talking about my naming the tier list definitive. And I'm just like, bro, like, it's not that serious. It's really not. When any content creator makes tier lists, it's all based on their opinions. And that's our opinion. That's where we thought decks were. And hey, we just had a podcast where Dan and I talked for the last like 30 minutes about changing up positions of certain decks because, you know, we see things, we change opinions, we learn things and whatnot and so forth. Like when you're playing a card game, you do your research, you play the decks,
it's always
you find
evolving.
out for yourself what is what. It's always evolving. No content creator is right all the time. If there was, that they'd be the only content creator worth watching. It's the reason that you guys listen to us and then you head over and you watch Mario's Gaming World. And then after doing that, you maybe watch some of Jodabi's videos and then you'll probably head over and finish it off with some of Huang's videos. Like it's a circle. You don't just watch one content creator because one content creator's opinion is the freaking gold. Like, no, I watch those same 3 people I just mentioned. Dan does as well. So it's like, and I'm sure some of them watch other content creators. It's a big circle. Nobody knows everything. So for anybody who's upset about me naming my tier list definitive,
let me say one thing. Anyways, though, before before we wrap it up officially. If this past regional hasn't taught you anything, rogue decks can win a chip too. That deck came out of nowhere and nobody expected it, and now it is one of those decks where like everybody wants to play it. Do your due diligence. Don't just throw away a deck just because someone says it's trash. Do the math, do the research, do the play testing. See what works, see what doesn't work. Someone had the mad brain idea of throwing Lilthmon into Mill, and then they're like, oh, let's make it a little loop style and have one of those, quote unquote, solitaire turns. And you're milling out your opponent so much during that turn that you're basically set up to win at that point, right? So yeah, rogue decks wins chips occasionally too,
Just a reminder, that was a 402 player tournament. They went through the paces. Alex Mock went through the paces. That must have been at least 7 rounds, if not 8.
Yeah.
So I will say the same exact thing Dan said. Rogue decks win tournaments. We're getting to this point in Digimon where we're not just seeing, the archetypes win. I know this is also a topic for another day. I know a lot of people are upset that there's so many archetypes and all the design is archetype driven. Millith Loop, baby. Millith freaking Loop. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. Mike, any parting words? Wrap it before you tap it, boys. Dan, any parting words?
Yeah. I got a quick little thing real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Your boy went through, some personal, very, gut-wrenching personal thing that happened over the week. And I just want to, give flowers to the people who are still alive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate the thanks and, to Varney and Mike, because they were out, they if I knew I needed their help, you know what I'm saying, they were there for me and stuff. I appreciate that. I also appreciate the people that listen to us on a daily basis or whatever y'all do and join our Discord. Sometimes we don't give flowers to people who are alive, and I just want to say that,
Preach and amen. And that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, digital podcast. So, until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Catch you on the next one.